Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this gaming video, and we're just doing some Starcraft 2. And I still love this game very much. And even though Blizzard is deeply involved with some horse shit with Tencent and China and censoring people's opinion on Hong Kong and other issues like this, I still like to play this game, unfortunately. But from here on out, I'm not going to be supporting the Blizzard company if I can help it, just on that alone. But ladder matches are very stressful, and I got lucky in this game. The guy on the other team, his teammate disconnected, and that sucks. But I'll give the guy props for staying in the game. Usually when that happens, people leave because they don't want the extra stress. But it's cool when people stay in the game when their teammates leave. And just because your teammate leaves doesn't mean you've necessarily lost the match. After this game, I had two more matches where I lost. One of those being where the guy's teammate left, but he was able to still candidly whip me and my teammate's ass. Now, I left early because I have a short patience. But what this guy did is he sent over his teammate's command center and upgraded it into a planetary fortress right in the middle of my base. And it wreaked a lot of damage. It took me out of the game early. So if you have a teammate that leaves early, attack as soon as possible and as much as possible, because you can win the game that way. And there is one added benefit: if your teammate does leave, you get all the resources and control of his units. So you essentially have two bases, really. And yeah, just because your teammate leaves doesn't mean it's the end. But me personally, I like this game, but I don't think I'm necessarily decent at it. If I had some proper coaching, I could probably be pretty damn good at this game. But my favorite race to play is the Protoss, because their units seem a bit more beefier. They have shields, and their units seem like they can handle more in combat than the Terran and Zerg. And plus, I just like the art style of the Protoss. And I love the Protoss. I mean, Terrans are cool too, but the race, if you must know, that I suck most at is Zerg. But there are some people that are amazing with the Zerg. They can pull off some pretty crazy crap. So the main thing about ladder play is always think about and prepare for early rushes. If you're playing against Terran, they might Reaper rush you, so throw up some cannons near your probes in the base. Or just make sure your probes are protected and you have any avenues blocked where the Reapers can get in behind your base and destroy your probes. Of course, look out for early Zergling rushes, early Zealot rushes, and cannon rushes are still a thing, believe it or not. There was a few games last season that I was playing where people are still doing the cannon rush. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Protoss have a building called the Photon Cannon. And essentially what the opposite team does is they send a few probes into your base, they throw up the pylons, and they build cannons within your base. And then at early, this could be catastrophic. And you can lose the game if you don't stop the probes and the pylons, like, quickly. So that would be my advice. Always look out for the early rush. And your teammates, it's going to be varying. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you get good, sometimes you get bad, and sometimes you're the bad teammate, which that's my case more times than not. So building additional bases early will also help you get additional income and increase your survivability in case you get hit really hard. So keep producing units whenever you can and upgrade whenever you can, because the more upgrades and more upgraded units you have, the easier it will be for you in the longer end of the game. if your teammate is attacking with a moderate to large force, attack with him with whatever units you have, because you either win as a team or you lose as a team, and you don't want to be that teammate that doesn't help cooperate in attack against the enemy with your units as well. It helps to attack when your teammate is attacking, and that's how this particular game on screen was won. Mainly because we just had enough units to break through his defenses and actually do something. So always keep that in mind. If you see your teammate attacking, back them up. Even if it may or may not be a total failure, you don't want to be that teammate that just sits on his ass and does nothing. And I've seen that happen in some games before, whereas if I just had some support, or if the shoe was on the other foot, if the guy was attacking and I didn't support him when he did, we would have had the game. The next thing is, with this game, always have detectors, because you'll get the occasional player that likes to be sneaky with cloaked units or hidden units. So keep that in mind as well. And this game really hinges on a balance between three things: resources, unit production, and buildings to produce more units. The more buildings you have, the more units you can build, and if you balance these three well enough, you can have a winning combination no matter who you're playing against. And the last bit of advice is defend your resource gatherers at the start, because if something goes wrong with your economy at the start, that's probably the game. So, in other topics to cover, I've been watching a lot of Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, and it's fantastic. If you're sitting in quarantine with nothing better to do, you have a Netflix subscription. Star Trek Deep Space Nine has some great stuff in it. Quark and Odo are the best characters of the show. And there's also Star Trek Voyager isn't half that bad either. So if you're a fan of sci-fi and Star Trek, there you go. There's two shows that have tons of seasons and tons of episodes that you can just burn time into. And there's other new stuff on Netflix. Of course, you can find. Brain went blank. So as far as Starcraft and units, what I like to attack with a variety of mixed units. That way you have varying ways of dealing with different units. It's the problem with massing the same unit is if you get the counter to that unit that you're attacking with, your attack can fail very miserably. So if you have a variety of just air, ground, and just a variety of units, that will help in your attack against the enemy as well. That way there can't be just one counter unit that destroys everything. So that, coupled with upgrades, that's about it. And good luck if you're playing the ladder matches, because there's, again, a lot of clever, skilled people who play ladders. But then again, if you're just having fun and playing just public matches that aren't ranked, you could probably use whatever tactics you want, because it doesn't really matter. But ladder matches are definitely fun, challenging, and even though I get my ass handed to me quite a bit, I will say there's no other better way to play StarCraft. I mean, there's a campaign, but the real reward is playing against people in the ladder and ranked matches. Even if I do get my ass swaddled. So that'll be it. I'll let the rest of this video play out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and there should be extra crap on screen at the end of this video if you're interested for other videos and Patreon and other crap. So see you next time. God bless. Hopefully these tips helped. And I'll see you.
The skies await. I will comply.
Your allies are in battle. My life for ire.
Let our enemy know.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Mirabek, cry on! Face pistol charge.
Field online. Understood.
We face the enemy. I return. Not enough energy. Your allies are in battle.
I will comply.
Your allies are in battle. Channel the light. Prismatic core online. Battle. Paradactyral. Your allies are in battle. It shall be done.